Good morning, everyone. If you have noticed, the sun is shining so bright. Of course, it is because Premier is in the Mississauga, and I'm with you. Hello, everyone. It is great to be here with you. My name is Deepak Anand. I'm the MPP for Mississauga Malton and the Parliamentary Assistant to Minister Monte McNaughton, the Minister of Labour, Immigration Training and Skill Development. I'm honored to be joined today with Premier Ford, Minister McNaughton, Mayor Crombie, other Professional Firefighter Association, President Greg Horton, and my colleagues. Since the beginning, our government has prioritized listening to workers, seeking solutions, and creating opportunities for the people of Ontario. Today, we continue our commitment to supporting the hardworking firefighters in Mississauga and through our province. And with that, I would like to hand it over to Mayor Crombie. Thank you so much.
Ooh, good morning, everyone. What a delight to be with you on this glorious day. Welcome all to Mississauga. Of course, let me start off by welcoming Premier Ford, Minister McNaughton, and Solicitor General Kerzner, who I know are no strangers to the great city of Mississauga. I'd also like to introduce my local councillor for the area who is with me today, Councillor Martin Reid. There, he's over here, over on my right. Come on over here. You know, it always fills me with great pride to be here at the Gary Morden Centre. This is a state-of-the-art training facility, not only supports our fire service, but neighboring first responders as well. And I'm just counting on them to one day invite me to come rappel down one of these buildings with them, because I love doing that. So hopefully one day soon. It's an honor to stand before you today in the presence of some remarkable individuals who play a vital role in ensuring the safety and the well-being of our city. I'd like to welcome, let me list them, the Ontario Professional Firefighters Association President Greg Horton, Local 1212, President Chris Varco, Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs President Deputy Rob Grimwood, my own fire chief, Darren Rizzi, and of course, recruit firefighters, training officers, and a selection of chiefs who are all here with us today. We can see them all behind us. Let's hear it for them. Time and time again, these brave men and women have responded with remarkable courage, speed, and efficiency to protect lives and to ensure the safety of our community. Only just last night on Nadine Crescent did we have a 2-alarm blaze that just devastated the home. Fortunately, no one was injured, and we thank them for that. You put your lives on the line each and every day, and for that, we owe you a debt of gratitude and our unending thanks. As mayor, I must say that it fills me with great pride to lead a city with such an incredibly strong and capable fire service. Day in and day out, our firefighters go above and beyond their call of duty. And in return, they need our support to ensure that they have the tools to protect themselves on the job and keep our homes, our businesses, and our neighborhoods safe. As our city continues to grow and to evolve, so do the demands and the challenges that we face. Through it all, MFES remains at the forefront, adapting and responding to our ever-changing needs. And I couldn't be more excited to be joined here today for this announcement. And I want to thank the Premier, Minister McNaughton, who will be up soon, Minister Kerzner, who is with us as well, for their work in what they're doing to equip, train, and upskill our firefighters. To all our firefighters and emergency personnel and their families, you have our utmost admiration and gratitude. Thank you for your bravery and your commitment to the well-being of our city. Together, we will continue to build a stronger, safer, and more resilient Mississauga. Thank you all very much, and I am waiting for that invitation to rappel down with you.
Thank you, Mayor Crombie. Next, I would like to introduce Greg Horton, the President of Ontario Professional Firefighter Association. Over to you, Greg. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. And I'd just like to say a quick shout out to Mayor Crombie, Chief Rizzi, President of the OFC, Rob Grimwood, for hosting us today at this fine facility. And they certainly brought the weather for us, so that's fantastic. Premier Ford, Minister McNaughton, Solicitor General Kerzner, distinguished guests, and brother and sister firefighters. My name is Greg Horton, and it's my distinct honor to speak to you today representing the Ontario Professional Firefighters, over 12,000 members. Firefighters are routinely exposed to life-threatening situations in the hostile environments that are found inside structure fires, as well as the associated intense stress and psychological pressure from seeing members of the community that we serve who are having their worst day. Today, the provincial government, under the leadership of Premier Ford, has made a commitment to firefighters and their families to provide us with the means to tackle these issues head-on. This Skills Development Fund announcement will deliver critical fireground survival training skills and peer support training to our members across the province. The fireground survival training will give firefighters the best chance to come home safely to their loved ones while working in dangerous, hostile environments that we face every day in service to the public. These skills are vital for firefighters in both self-rescue situations and rapid intervention teams who are deployed to aid firefighters who are in peril. These skills include ladder bails, reduced profile wall breach, calling mayday procedures, firefighter down patient extrication skills, to name but a few. The Skills Development Fund will also allow us to purchase a mobile, state-of-the-art training prop that we can use to certify 150 trainers across this province. These trainers will then utilize the mobile training prop to deliver this training to our frontline firefighters in communities across Ontario. The importance of this training to firefighters and their families cannot be understated. Those that find themselves in life-threatening situations will have the best training possible to give them the best chance to extricate themselves from this situation and return home. The government has also made a commitment to firefighters to ensure that they will not only come home safely, physically, but they will have means to access trained peer support, to give our members an outlet to deal with the daily mental hardships and stress that firefighters face in our occupation. This Skills Development Fund will train 90 additional peer support members across the province. Post-traumatic stress injuries are a reality in our profession. Having trained peer support groups who are available to their fellow firefighters that can serve as an outlet and recognize when a situation should be escalated to the next level of service provider are paramount to the overall mental health and well-being of our firefighters across this province. These peer support individuals are a special group. They take on the difficult task of watching over their brother and sister firefighters, all while being exposed to the same stress and pressure while performing their own duties. To those peer support workers in the past and those yet to come, thank you for shouldering this difficult burden, and know now that with this funding announcement, there will be more of you trained across the province to help continue this important work. On behalf of my brother and sister firefighters and their families, I would like to again thank Premier Ford, Minister of Labour Monte McNaughton, and Solicitor General Michael Kerzner for their unwavering support with these Skills Development Fund announcements. This funding for our members is crucial, and without your support, this would not be possible. Thank you very much. To those of you on duty today, stay safe. To our recruits here at the Mississauga Training Facility, have a long, happy, healthy, and prosperous career. And to everyone here today, thank you for taking the time to attend.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Greg, so much, and thank you for your leadership representing over 12,000 professional firefighters in every community right across the province. Thank you. Greg, it's been such a great pleasure touring fire halls with you over the last year and really meeting with thousands of your members and their families and hearing their concerns firsthand. It's also great to be here this morning with Mayor Bonnie Crombie. Thank you for ordering the great weather. Also, my parliamentary assistant and local MPP from Mississauga, MPP Deepak Anand, and of course our entire caucus team from Mississauga, and Minister Kerzner, and of course Premier Doug Ford. You don't need me to tell any of you, but firefighters are everyday heroes. They can be called to an emergency at a moment's notice. They put their lives on the line to save us and our loved ones. Well, I can tell you there is no greater champion of heroes like firefighters than Premier Doug Ford and our government. That is why we'll continue to invest in innovative training programs that give firefighters the training they need to survive the physical and mental challenges they encounter every day and protect their communities. And when they fall ill, we'll have their backs as well. Each year, 25 to 30 Ontario firefighters die from cancer, a rate 4 times higher than the general population. That's why in March, we were proud to announce we're expanding cancer coverage for our firefighters, assuming any thyroid or pancreatic cancer is related to their job so they get faster access to the benefits and supports they need to recover. The changes will be retroactive to January 1st, 1960, and will ensure the firefighters and their families who battled these cancers in the past get the compensation they deserve. To the professional and volunteer firefighters who have and continue to protect Ontario, our government will always stand with you. Just as we are with our Skills Development Fund, which so far has supported almost 600 projects, helping over 500,000 workers gain the skills they need to take the next step in their careers. With that, I'd like to introduce my friend and a strong champion of all first responders in Ontario, the Premier of Ontario, to make a very exciting announcement about skills training for our fighters. Thank you, and over to you, Premier Ford.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Minister McNaughton, for that introduction. And it's great to be back here in the beautiful city of Mississauga, and alongside Minister McNaughton, Minister Kerzner, Minister Rashid, and MPP Deepak Anand, and MPP Sharif Sabawi, and Will Boma. And I got to tell you about Will. Not a lot of people know this, but Will is not only just a great MPP, he's also a heroic volunteer firefighter in his hometown of Brant County. So thank you, Will, for your great service. I also want to acknowledge Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie, and thank you for having us here, Mayor. It's always great to be in Mississauga, and I hope you had a great Mother's Day along with all the other mums over the weekend. And Peel Chair Nando Ian Naka. And a big welcome to Greg Horton. Thank you for all the work that you do from the Ontario Professional Firefighters Association, and Rob Grimwood from the Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs, and all the brave women and men in uniform joining us today. Friends, in every single community across the province, our firefighters are on the front lines each and every day saving lives. They're often the first responders to emergencies. And as they say, they're the ones who rush in when others are rushing out. They are true heroes, and I want everyone in this room, or outside I should say, to know that our government appreciates your service. Thank you for all that you do to keep our communities and our people safe. Friends, our government is dedicated to enhancing firefighter safety and modernizing training programs right across our province. And what a training facility they have here. It's absolutely spectacular. Last year, we launched our firefighter certification program to make sure that training standards are meeting and beating industry best practices. We've also made investments to expand access to local fire training, including new online courses and regional training units so firefighters can get the training they need closer to home. And today, as part of our Skills Development Fund, we're pleased to announce $700,000 in new funding to support innovative training projects designed for both professional and volunteer firefighters. This funding includes training programs to help small and rural services be better prepared for the dangerous situations they face, in-ground rescue and wildfire situations. And we know wildfires they happen every single year, and we just want to thank the firefighters for helping out there. It includes new courses in automobile extraction, boating, and water safety and elevator rescue. Here in Mississauga, the new funding will support 30 firefighters for training and certification in the International Association of Firefighters Fire Ground Survival Program. This program provides firefighters with safety and survival training for dangerous situations that can occur on the job, such as becoming lost, trapped, or injured. And because we know being on the front line poses risks of dangerous situations, the funding includes interactive peer support training for suicide awareness and prevention and crisis intervention. Together, these new training programs will upskill our volunteer and professional firefighters, equip them with the tools and resources to do their jobs more effectively. We'll help departments with recruitment and retention challenges and help keep our communities and our people safe. Friends, we always support our fire departments and our firefighters. In addition to expanding firefighter training, we're supporting local fire services in the north and helping municipalities pay for fire services provided on Crown land. Last year, we announced $208 million in funding to support the transition to Next Generation 911. Once fully implemented, the new system will make it easier for public to provide additional details about emergency situations, such as video from the scene of an accident when requesting immediate help from police, fire, or EMS services. It will also give emergency operators the ability to identify locations using GPS, resulting in a safer, faster, and more informed emergency response, including from our brave firefighters. And just as people rely on our first responders, our government wants to make sure our heroes are taken care of when they need support. That's why in our 2023 budget, we announced an additional $9.6 million for the Runnymede Healthcare Center's First Responders Wellness and Rehabilitation Center to provide mental health support and PTSI treatment, tailor-made for the unique needs of our firefighters and other frontline workers. And another serious issue facing firefighter community is the high rates, as the minister mentioned, but I'm going to repeat the message, is the high rates of thyroid and pancreatic cancers among firefighters. So earlier this year, as the minister mentioned, our government expanded WSIB eligibility for firefighters battling these diseases retroactive to 1960. These changes will apply to any firefighter, whether they are or were full-time, volunteer, part-time, or employed by First Nations band councils. Friends, that's a good one. Friends, we will always stand shoulder to shoulder with our fire departments and our heroes on the front line. We're giving them the tools they need to recruit, retain professional and volunteer firefighters, and the resources and training they need to protect our communities safely and effectively. We will always have their backs. Thank you for everyone joining us today, and again, thank you, Mayor Crombie, for hosting this, and may God bless our firefighters, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We'll now go to the floor for questions. If reporters could please line up at the microphone behind me. Please identify yourselves by name and outlet. And just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Morning, Premier. Liam Casey with the Canadian Press.
Hi, Liam.
Just on Stellantis, they just told me this morning that construction has stopped immediately on the battery plant in Windsor. Just wondering if this worries you.
It really worries me. You know, we need the federal government to step up, as they did for Volkswagen. We have signed a deal with Stellantis months ago, quite some time ago actually, on infrastructure, and we gave them the exact same amount as we gave Volkswagen. And we need the federal government to come to the table and show their support like they have all along. They've been great partners, by the way, in every deal that we've made. So we need them to work with Stellantis, and I know the mayor, Mayor Dilkins, is quite concerned as well, and so am I.
On the deal, so did the province give 500 million like Volkswagen?
We gave the exact same amount, but also there's the roads, the off-ramps that we did. We brought in energy to be competitive with U.S. states. We'll go toe-to-toe with any state down in the United States. The only thing we can't do is go toe-to-toe with the U.S. federal government. That's the Canadian, the federal Canadian government's job, and they can do it, and we're confident that they made a promise to the people of Windsor. I was down there with the Prime Minister. Now they need to keep their promise to the people of Windsor.
Hi, Premier. Laura Stone,
Hi.
Globe and Mail.
Hi, Laura.
On that same issue, did you see this coming? Did you know that this was kind of building to the point where Stellantis was going to come out and say this, or was it a surprise to you?
Yeah, well, you know, throughout the whole period, we weren't involved in the federal deal. We made the provincial deal. We thought everything was good. They had the shovels on the ground. And then just recently, over the last little while, we were hearing about it and had an opportunity to speak to the finance minister. And, you know, this is any state in the U.S. doesn't jump in with the federal U.S. government. We had our deal. We never saw the deal on the federal government side. They need to come up and support Stellantis like they did with Volkswagen. And I got to give the federal government kudos. They have been there with us every step of the way on every single deal. They need to continue supporting the people of Windsor, which they promised they were going to do. But we want to work hand in hand with the feds on future deals as well.
So, Premier, when does this end, though? Is the province's expectation that every time a plant is going to open the province, the federal government has to give them $13 billion? At what point is
that's going to be up to the federal government, but we're competing against the IRA down in the U.S., supported by the federal U.S. government. We don't have the bandwidth to compete against the U.S. federal government. We don't have the printing press like the federal government does. They need to step up like they have, and they've been great partners. I've said this 3 times. They need to step up and commit to the promise they gave to the people of Windsor. It's as simple as that.
Hey, good morning, Premier. This is a question for both you and Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie. So
Yes.
it seems like you've made up your mind when it comes to separating Peel Region and creating an independent Mississauga. I'm just wondering how this works with Mayor Crombie's plans. Mayor Crombie is considering running for Ontario Liberal leader. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Mayor Crombie running, and how does that factor into your decision to separate? And to you, the mayor, does an independent Mississauga clear the way for you to run against the Premier?
Hey, you know something, I'll be very clear, and I've said this right from day one. Mayor Crombie's been a great partner in helping build Mississauga, no matter if it's a transit or other infrastructure projects. And well before I was even elected, I'd have conversations with Mayor Hazel. At the time, I've always been for an independent Mississauga. You can't have a city the size of Mississauga, close to 800,000 people, and it's continuing to grow, being tied into other jurisdictions. So we're going to continue supporting Mississauga. We have all the seats in Mississauga. My job, and I know it's the mayor's, to make sure that the people of Mississauga get the best services they have and continue to enhance the services.
And if the mayor wants to jump in,
Sure.
if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mayor.
that's all right.
I'm delighted that the Premier has publicly stated that he's on the way to separating Peel. It gives me great pleasure. I know he's fulfilling a promise to former Mayor Hazel McCallion and myself, and of course this makes great sense that we go our separate ways. It's more cost-effective, it allows us both to build great cities and do it and allow my taxpayers to invest their tax dollars back into our city rather than to support the growth of the other municipalities and continue to support their growth as they have for the past 50 years. So I look forward to this announcement, and I want to thank the Premier.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Premier, on the Greenbelt, you've been making a lot of comments lately that's led to a lot of concern about your plans for the Greenbelt. A lot of people are wondering if you're setting the stage to open up even more portions of the Greenbelt for development. Can you say today, do you plan to open up additional portions of the Greenbelt for housing or any other development?
What I will say, Colin, the Greenbelt is larger now than when I took office. And what we won't be doing, we won't be building on ponds and marshes and wetlands and so on and so forth. So we have a housing crisis. 445,000 people showed up to our province, the fastest growing region in North America. No one even comes close to Ontario, not Texas, not Florida, not anyone. And we need to make sure that we have homes. And the reason they're coming to Ontario is because, with great partners like Mayor Bonnie Crombie and other mayors, we've created a climate and conditions for companies to come here and open up. They have endless Fortune 500 companies here in Mississauga and around Ontario, and the people are moving here because it's a quality of life. It's the economic backbone of Canada. That's the reason they're coming here. And it's critical, and I think all of us do it. Sure, sometimes politics gets in the way, but for the most part, 99% of the time, municipalities, the province, and the federal government work well together, and that's what people expect us to do. So we're going to continue working alongside with the federal government and municipalities, make this the greatest place, continue to make it the greatest place in the world to live and raise a family and start a business or find employment. And for those who need a job, there's 380,000 jobs available. I encourage you to make sure you go out and find gainful employment. There's jobs in every single sector.
Hi, Premier. Jack Cowan from the Trillium.
Hi, Jack.
Long time no see.
Yep.
On the MZO given to Lakeview Community Partners, did you discuss this with Minister Clark or his staff before it was issued? And did you discuss it also with anyone involved with the development, like the DeGasperis family or their lobbyists?
No, I didn't. That's up to Minister Clark, and we have a housing crisis. There's going to be 18,350. And full disclosure, I'm just reading off a couple of the items that are going to be going there. It's going to be close to transit alongside substantial community benefits and upgraded infrastructure with the cost of these benefits to be borne by the home builders, not the taxpayers. Thousands of new affordable and attainable homes. I know that our government is working hand in hand with the City of Mississauga, and new improved and expanded roadway and road infrastructure, a new wastewater treatment plant, new transit services and infrastructure, including a new GO train station on Lakeshore West Line, new schools and childcare spaces, new and improved community spaces, and environmental projects, including a new public waterfront trail and a pier area. So those are some of the items that they just put in front of me, but we're going to work hand in hand with the City of Mississauga, the Mayor, to create more homes and a good environment.
Thanks, Premier. And shifting gears, I got an FOI back. I asked for a list of signed subnational trade deals that have come about as a result of the work of the Agents General since 2019. And I got that back, and it said a thorough search was conducted and no responsive records were located. There have been discussions apparently with U.S. states, but no deals have been reached. So my question is, what have they been doing for the past 3.5 years, and do you think they're worth the investment?
Yeah, well, the Minister of Economic Development is onto that. Our trade, actually, ironically, maybe is not written down. If we were a standalone country, Ontario, which I never recommend that, by the way, but if we're a standalone country, we'd be the U.S.'s third largest trading partner. Prior, we did about $400 billion. Last year, it's jumped up to $460 billion. But I don't disagree. I'm on the minister, always making sure they're held accountable. Not everything I can say a new company comes in because of the work they've done or they've tilled the soil. It's not always in an area that you can find. But again, we've seen tremendous growth with our #1 trading partner, the United States. So, and if they aren't doing work around the world, we'll hold them accountable, I promise you that.
Hi, Premier. Clara Pasica, CBC.
Hi, Claire.
So first question, more than 3/4 of Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario members in a survey that came out today say they've personally experienced violence or witnessed violence against another staff person, according to that survey. What is your government doing to tackle violence in elementary schools?
Well, again, isn't that a shame? When we all grew up, that's the last thing you'd think of is hitting a teacher or showing violence towards a teacher. I think, honestly, as well, it starts at home. Man, if I'll speak for my parents. God forbid I ever went up and hit a teacher. I'd get twice the hit when I got home. And I think everyone out there would say the same thing. So, you know something, it starts at home. You respect your teachers. They're there to teach you, give you guidance, make you a better person. So enough of going after teachers. Teachers, I couldn't do the teacher's job, to be very frank with you. They have a tough job, but for the kids, man, you guys got to get your act together and don't ever go after a teacher.
So that was very colorful, but it didn't answer the question at all. The question was, what is your government doing to tackle violence in elementary schools, unless you're advocating some sort of, notice out to parents or something, but...
Well, that's our goal, to always make sure we advocate for the teachers, protecting the teachers. If you want me to put legislation, if you're asking me about putting police in schools, well, I think that decision's been made. So we're going to always advocate for the teachers and make sure there's never violence in our schools.
Okay, next question is for either of the Mississauga MPPs. What are you hearing from your constituents about the possibility of Mississauga separating?
Okay, any Mississauga MPP want to come forward?
Yeah, but you didn't answer.
Come on through here.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Look, across Mississauga, we are always looking at, even our constituents are happy to, whatever the decision the province and the municipalities are going to make together. Premier Ford has been very clear, and he said it today. Our Mayor Crombie also. It's a great partnership, and we would like to continue this partnership. Again, the constituents are very open-minded. They are not going either way, but whatever the decision is made, everyone is going to welcome that decision. Thank you.
This will be the last question.
Hi, Premier. Jamie with City TV.
Hey, Jamie.
This question comes in from Mark McAllister, and this is a response to your answer to my question on Friday about the Gardiner Expressway. Anna Bailao has fired back. She's saying that your government did go back to the province and ask for money several times, and then she gives some pretty significant reasons why the Gardiner should be uploaded and the DVP should be uploaded, like most municipalities.
Well, again, I'm not going to jump into the mayoral election or her trying to drag me into it, but at the end of the day, we aren't taking the Gardiner or the DVP. Simple as that. They need to take responsibility for that asset.
And then the next question comes in from Richard Southern. 5 years ago, you made a promise to have beer being sold in corner stores. Have you abandoned that promise?
No. There's actually more beer being sold in retail than there ever has been. But I have to be aware that there is a contract with the beer stores. We're going to be working with them. And our goal is to make sure that there's beer and wine sold in, be it the big retailers, the Costco's, the Walmarts, Loblaws and Sobeys and Metro. I think I covered everyone almost in those stores, and the convenience stores. So we're going to fulfill that promise. We've expanded it tremendously since we've been in office, and there's a certain percentage that we are able to hit. But at the end of the day, we need to have convenience for the consumer. And we'll strike a deal with the beer stores. And I just want to tell people, a lot of people are in the misunderstanding that the beer stores are owned by the government. They aren't. They're owned by three massive beer companies, foreign beer companies. And I just don't think that monopoly's right, especially owned by three big conglomerates. Simple as that.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Okay, thanks everyone. Take care.